Greetings and welcome. Greetings and welcome. My name is Michael Dennis. Welcome to my midlife crisis YouTube channel. I am a Cincinnati sports skeptic. I'm a UCF grad. I'm a Sopranos superfan, and I wanted to talk a little bit about today about being the man and all the conversation that goes in around that, and then I'll get to Tony here and the most embarrassing thing I do, which is now Sopranos Funko Pops. Um, but like I said, I want to talk about being the man, and especially about being the man in professional sports and the man in this town. Going into looking at the NFL landscape right now, let's talk about who's the man. There was some issue last year in Denver as to who the man was. There was a man, but everybody hated him, and he wasn't very good. And you saw what happened there. That's an extreme example. The man in Arizona is trusted about as much as an 11-year-old boy. I think I was probably trusted with far more than Kyler Murray is, especially being an only child. I definitely was. But yeah, they trust him about as much as they trust an 11-year-old boy. And I don't care who the head coach is. That's who they're always going to be. They'll only go as far as the man will take them. The man on your team doesn't have to be a quarterback. It can be a head coach. Two examples of that kind of being Urban Meyer last year. And on the other side of that would be Bill Belichick. So, you have the man being on either side. Let's look at professional wrestling. There's who's the man right now? It's Roman. Is there any discussion? There's a lot of discussion right now about, can Cody be the man? Is he finally going to be the man? Well, as long as he doesn't job to Roman at WrestleMania like he jobbed to Big Show at WrestleMania, then you have a chance. But when it comes to being the man in this town, having gone through the entire Andy Dalton era in this city, and let's rewind back a little bit, talking about who the man was, who the man is in Denver and everything. We see what happens when being the man goes wrong and you pick the wrong guy and he's bad. But what happens if the man is just milquetoast? And that's really what Andy Dalton was. And for so long in this town, there was this conversation. It seemed to happen every single year around Andy Dalton. And is this the year he finally makes the leap? Oh, every single year going into training camp, there was some storyline about Andy Dalton, and he's always going to, is this the year that he steps up? Oh, he's being more vocal. Is this the year that he finally makes the leap and becomes the man? And we talked about that, it feels like, for 10 years, and nothing ever changed. I think one of the great lessons of The Sopranos is that people do not change. They simply don't. And Andy Dalton was Andy Dalton. He's not the red rifle, he's the beige water pistol. And sitting back and listening to all this conversation over and over and over again about, is he the man? Who's the man in Cincinnati? Can Marvin Lewis be the man? And we wasted so much time with it. And now, once the man actually arrived, Joe Burrow, all that conversation went away. I've never heard any discussion in the last couple years about, is Joe Burrow the man? Is he really the guy who's going to step up and lead this team? Because there wasn't any question about it. It's just who he is, and it's just what he does. There's, and I feel like we do this a lot in society in general, is trying to teach leadership or teach charisma. I remember one time in my capstone class in college, we had this old man who was a teacher, and I hated him. I thought he was giving people horrible advice. This is a guy who's worked in business his entire life. He's clearly made some money. He's got tenure at this university because he's of age and he's been there forever. And I remember one time he was giving us advice on signing contracts. And he told us specifically, no matter what anyone ever offers you or what offers come your way, it's your job to fulfill the contract that you have agreed to. and it's your duty to always uphold your end of the bargain. And that's a lot to tell students who are broke, who have nothing. That I'm supposed to honor like a handshake ahead of actual like concrete opportunity. That was a real boomer mindset. But there was one thing in class one day he was talking about leadership and teaching people how to be charismatic and teaching people how to be a leader. And I was just pulling my hair out because you can't teach it. You can't do it. It's impossible. You either have something in you or you don't. And there was this one guy in class, his name was Alan, who was just the most milquetoast guy on planet Earth. And I remember like pointing at Alan and being like, you can't teach Alan to have a bunch of charisma. It's impossible. He could take improv classes for the rest of his life. He could study the great performers of our time. He could study Chris Rock. He could study Steve Martin. And if he doesn't have it, he'll never have it. And that's Andy Dalton. That's Joe Burrow. And now, even though we're a week or so out from the Bengals losing in the playoffs, Joe's still the man, and there's no question about it in this town. And once again, this is just it's such an interesting thing to watch how the conversation around the quarterback has evolved here in Cincinnati over the last 10 years to now where we have an unquestioned leader. And, I don't think Andy Dalton's going. I'm sorry, I don't think Joe Burrow's going anywhere. I don't think he's going to leave the Cincinnati Bengals. But you have to keep him, and you have to keep him upright, and you have to keep him in one piece. Andrew Luck being your cautionary tale. You can't lose that man. You can't drive him off. You can't break him physically or emotionally because you haven't had the man, in your entire 52 years. Maybe Boomer was. I wasn't here enough for that. Maybe the combination of Boomer and Weish was enough for it to be the man. But you actually have one now. And like I said, it's a very stark contrast from what we used to have here. Before I wrap up my short video for today, I'm going to do an unboxing. So this is the most embarrassing thing I've been doing lately. Is as a Soprano super fan, there isn't a lot of merchandise that gets produced with the Sopranos on it, especially like new merchandise. So a while back when I saw that they were going to be producing Sopranos Funko Pops, I looked myself in the mirror and I realized I was going to have to cross a line and become a person who's now buying multiple Funko Pops for their home. But don't put me in the Funko Pop consumer group. I'm not that. I swear to God. I have the original Sopranos DVDs up here. I've got a couple of books right here. They are, like I said, I am a Sopranos super fan. So I'm going to put this on my desk at my other office, but I'm going to do an unboxing right now. We have on the back, there's 4 of them on the back. There's Carmela, Tony, Silvio, and Chris. Even though I know there are more, there's another variation of Tony where he's in the robe, and he's got the duck. And I think there's a Paulie out there too. But I'm going to open this one because they mailed it to me, and it arrived all bent and busted up. So whatever, who cares? But it's just nice seeing the Sopranos on a box. You don't get that very often, and that's fun. So let's open up Tony. Let's see. Oh, that's cute. So on the very top, on the labels, they've got Satriali's, the pig store, the pork store, and they've got the Bada Bing right on there too. That's cute. I like that. Tony's head on top. Well, the first thing I see when I look in here is Tony's bald spot. They really gave him a bald spot here. Now, so one thing I've noticed is like all the things they're dressed on or they're dressed as in their versions, they're all kind of season 1 versions of the Sopranos. Like that's a Carmela outfit from season 1. Chris is holding the pastry box. That's definitely season 1. Silvio's doing they pull me back in. That could be season 1. And I feel like this outfit from Tony is season 1. I feel like this outfit from Tony is season 1, but that hair is season 7. Can I get a Tony in the hospital bed when he's in the coma, and then he can have this hair? Because I don't think he was that bald in season 1. But he's pretty bald. He's pretty bald there. I like it. So, I don't know. What do? You don't really play with these. You just kind of send them out. I like that he's got the gold on. He's got a nice watch. He's got his gold chain on him. That's kind of cool. He's wearing nice shoes. He's wearing nice pants. I got to figure out what episode this outfit is in. But it's cute. It's not bad. You know, it's a stupid toy. I feel like Funko has replaced the bobblehead. The bobbleheads just like aren't a thing anymore outside of giveaways at baseball games. And now like this has become the kind of soup du jour of toys, of disposable toys. You can sit on your desk and sit on your counter. I feel like that's what Funko has become. You know, with the design, there's a bunch of licensed stuff with it. They have a giant head. Maybe that's the end of the comparisons to bobbleheads, but I don't know. Those are two pretty big comparisons. That's all these things are. But it's cute. Sure. Let's put it up here. Let's put them over by the movies. We'll put them over by the DVDs over there. And we'll leave Big Papa Pump to his own devices over there. Leave Tony and Darth. Anyway, so that's my video for today, talking about being the man and then opening a box with the man. My name is Michael Dennis. This is my midlife crisis channel. I am a Cincinnati sports skeptic. I am a Soprano superfan and a UCF grad. Hit like and subscribe and support your local streamers and podcasters, especially here in the Cincinnati area. There aren't a lot of us. I'm going to do my best to talk about interesting stuff in the city and sports on occasion. So, thanks so much and have a good one. For Thomas what?